Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a Sri Krishna Caitanya book compilation given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on November 18th, 2022 in Śrī Māyāpur, India.
Pangong langayate girim Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. After a long break, we are continuing back with the compilation of the Sri Krishna Chaitanya book. Hari Bol. Today's chapter is entitled Haridāsa Ṭhākura initiates Māyā into the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Reading from under the section The Glories of Haridāsa Ṭhākura. Reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.244.
কীর্তন করিতে আসি প্রাতকাল হইল প্রাতকাল দেখি নারী উঠিয়া চলিল।
In this way, as he chanted and chanted, the morning approached, and when the woman saw that it was morning, she got up and left.
Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.245.
তিন দিন যাবৎ মায়ার কঠোর পরীক্ষা করে আগমন নানা ভাব দেখায় যাতে ব্রহ্মার মন।
For 3 days she approached Haridāsa Ṭhākura in this way, exhibiting various feminine postures that would bewilder the mind of even Lord Brahma.
Māyā, the in charge of the material world.
So Māyā, the in charge of the material world.
Māyā was testing Haridāsa Ṭhākura
So Mahamaya was testing Haridāsa Ṭhākura
to see how detached he was from material enjoyment.
To see how detached he was from material enjoyment.
How fixed up he was in Krishna consciousness.
How fixed up he was in Krishna consciousness. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.246.
অদ্বয় জ্ঞান নাম মহাপ্রভুর ঐকান্তিক সেবক দ্বিতীয়াভিনিবেশজ ভক্তাবৃত্ত ভাবরহিত ঠাকুরের নিকট মায়ার পরাভূতি। কৃষ্ণে নামাবিষ্ট মনা সদা হরিদাস অরণ্যে রুদিত হইল স্ত্রী ভাব প্রকাশ।
Haridāsa Ṭhākura was always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna and the holy name of Krishna. Therefore, the feminine poses the woman exhibited were just like crying in the forest.
This is a saying, you cry in the forest.
So this is the same. If you cry in the forest,
No one hears.
no one here.
The sound reverberates off the trees.
The sound vibrates the trees.
Haridāsa Ṭhākura is so much absorbed in thoughts of Krishna
Haridāsa Ṭhākura was so much absorbed in thoughts of Krishna
that Mahamaya's posture did not distract him at all.
that Mahamaya's posture did not distract him at all. There is a saying. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.247.
তৃতীয় দিবসের রাত্রি শেষ যবে হইল ঠাকুরের স্থানে নারী কহিতে লাগিল।
At the end of the night of the third day, the woman spoke to Haridāsa Ṭhākura as follows. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.248.
3 দিন বঞ্চিলামা করি আশ্বাসন রাত্রি দিনে নহে তোমার নাম সমাপন
My dear sir, for 3 days you have cheated me by giving me false assurances. For I see that throughout the entire day and night, your chanting of the holy name is never finished. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.248. 249, sorry Guru Maharaj.
ঠাকুরের স্বীয় নিয়মানুযায়ী সেবা হরিদাস ঠাকুর কহেন আমি কি করিমু নিয়ম করিয়াছি তাহা কেমনে ছাড়িমু
Haridāsa Ṭhākura said, My dear friend, what can I do? I have made a vow. How then can I give it up?
A vow means a type of promise
Vow means a type of promise
that one has to fulfill.
that one has to fulfill.
And so therefore, Haridāsa Ṭhākura was following his vow.
So therefore, Haridāsa Ṭhākura was following this vow. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.250.
মায়ার আত্মপরিচয় প্রদান তবে নারী করি নমস্কার আমি মায়া করিতে আইলাও পরীক্ষা তোমার
After offering obeisances to Haridāsa Ṭhākura, the woman said, I am the illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I came here to test you. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In the Bhagavad Gita 7.14, Lord Krishna says, Devi esa gunamayi mama maya durajyaya mam evaye prapatyante mayam etam tarantite. This divine energy of mine, consisting of 3 modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. This was actually proved by the behavior of Haridāsa Ṭhākura. Māyā enchants the entire world. Indeed, people have forgotten the ultimate goal of life because of the dazzling attractions of the material world. But this dazzling attraction, especially the attractive beauty of a woman, is meant for persons who are not surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord says, Mam evaye prapatyante mayam etam tarantite. One who have surrendered unto me cannot be conquered by the illusory energy. The illusory energy personally came to test Haridāsa Ṭhākura. But herein she admits her defeat, for she was unable to captivate him. How is this possible? It was because Haridāsa Ṭhākura fully surrendered to the lotus feet of Krishna, was always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna by chanting the holy names of the Lord 300,000 times daily as a vow.
Lord Caitanya told Lord Brahma
Lord Caitanya told Lord Brahma
that he would achieve all of Godhead by chanting 300,000 names of Krishna.
that he would achieve love of Godhead by chanting 300,000 holy names of times daily of the holy names every day.
This shows how Lord Krishna Prema makes material enjoyment appear very insignificant.
This proves how Krishna Prema makes material enjoyment to appear very insignificant. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.251.
স্বীয় শিকার ব্রহ্মাদি জীব আমি সবারে মোহিলু একেলা তোমারে আমি মোহিতে নারিলু
I have previously captivated the mind of even Brahma. What to speak of others? Your mind alone, if I fail to attract. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Beginning from Lord Brahma down to the insignificant ant, everyone without exception is attracted by the illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The demigods, human beings, animals, birds, beasts, trees and plants are all attracted by sexual desire. That is the illusion of Māyā. Everyone, whether a man or woman, thinks that he is the enjoyer of the illusory energy. This way, everyone is captivated and engaged in material activities. However, because Haridāsa Ṭhākura was always thinking of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and was always busy satisfying the senses of the Lord, this process alone saved him from the captivation of Māyā. This is practical proof of the strength of devotional service. Because of his full engagement in the service of the Lord, he could not be induced to enjoy Māyā. The verdict of the Shastras is that a pure Vaishnava or devotee of the Lord never thinks of enjoying the material nature, which culminates in sex life. Never thinks himself can enjoy it. Instead, always wants to be enjoyed by the Supreme Personality of God. Therefore, the conclusion is that the Supreme Personality of God is eternal, transcendental, beyond the perception of sense gratification and beyond material quality. Jai Radhe Shyam. Only if a living entity gives up the false conception that the body is the self and always thinks himself an eternal servant of Krishna and the Vaishnavas, can he surpass the influence of Māyā. Mam eva ye prapadyante Māyām etam tarantite. A pure living entity who thus attains the stage of anartha nivritti, cessation of everything unwanted, has nothing to enjoy in the material world. One attains this stage only by properly performing the functions of devotional service. Srila Rupa Goswami has written, Adau Shraddha tata sadhu sangotha brajana kriya tato anartha nivritti syat tato nishta ruchistataha. In the beginning, one must have a preliminary desire for self-realization. This will bring one to the stage of trying to associate with persons who are spiritually elevated. In the next stage, one becomes initiated by an elevated spiritual master. Under his instruction, the neophyte devotee begins the process of devotional service. By execution of devotional service, under the guidance of the spiritual master, one becomes freed from all material attachments, attains steadiness in self-realization, and acquires a taste for hearing about the absolute personality of Godhead. Shri Krishna, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.4.15. One is actually executing devotion service, then anarthas, unwanted things associated with material enjoyment, will automatically disappear.
So, the difference between kama and prema is described here.
So the difference between kama and prema is described here.
Kama means trying to enjoy one's own senses.
Kama means trying to enjoy one's own senses.
Prema is trying to satisfy Krishna's senses.
Prema is trying to satisfy Krishna's senses.
So, Krishna prema means we want to satisfy the senses of Krishna.
Krishna Prema means you want to satisfy the senses of Krishna.
We think of the body, and we're trying to satisfy the senses of the body.
So when we think that we are the body, then we are trying to satisfy the senses of the body.
And this way, we are captured by the illusory energy.
In this way, we are captured by the illusory energy. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 3.252 to 253.
স্তুতি
মহাভাগবত তুমি তোমার দর্শনে তোমার কৃষ্ণ নাম কীর্তন শ্রবণে ঠাকুরের কৃপা জানছ চিত্ত শুদ্ধি হইল চাহে কৃষ্ণ নাম লইতে
কৃষ্ণ নাম
দেশি কৃপা কর মতে
My dear sir,
Hare Krishna. Okay. My dear sir, you are the foremost devotee. Simply seeing you and hearing you chant the holy name of Krishna has purified my consciousness. Now I want to chant the holy name of the Lord.
Haribol!
Haribol! Please be kind to me by instructing me about the ecstasy of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra.
অহৈতুকী কৃপাবর্তীন চৈতন্যাশ্রয়ে কৃষ্ণাক্তি অনুশীলন ব্যতীত জীব জড়তুল্য চৈতন্য অবতারে বহে প্রেমামৃত বন্যা সব জীব প্রেমে ভাসে পৃথিবী কহিল ধন্যা
There is now a flood of eternal nectar of love of Godhead due to the incarnation of Lord Caitanya. All living entities are floating in that flood. The entire world is now thankful to the Lord.
Haribol!
Haribol!
And normally it was very difficult to get Krishna Prema.
Normally it's very difficult to get Krishna Prema.
You had to surrender to Krishna.
You had to surrender to Krishna.
And Lord Chaitanya is giving it out very freely.
But Lord Chaitanya is giving it out very freely.
He's not considering who's qualified or unqualified.
He's not considering who's qualified, who's unqualified.
He gives it to everyone.
He gives it to everyone.
We should take His mercy while it's available.
We should take His mercy while it's available. Hari Bol. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 3.255.
এই বন্যায় যে না ভাসে সেই জীব ছাড় কোটি কল্পে কবুতার নাহিকো নিস্তার
Anyone who does not float in this inundation is most condemned. Such a person cannot be delivered for millions of kalpas. A kalpa is explained, purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. A kalpa is explained in Bhagavad Gita 8.17. Sahasra yuga paryantam ahar yad brahmano viduhu. One day of Brahma is called a kalpa. A yuga or Mahayuga consists 4,320,000 years. And 1,000 of such Mahayugas constitute one kalpa. The author of Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita says that if one does not take advantage of the Krishna consciousness movement of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he cannot be delivered from millions of such kalpas.
He should not miss this great opportunity.
We should not miss this great opportunity.
Lord Chaitanya is giving out most incredible benediction.
Lord Chaitanya is giving out the most incredible benediction.
If we miss this opportunity,
If we miss this opportunity,
will be deprived of Godhead for many, many kalpas.
We will be deprived of love of Godhead for many, many kalpas. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.256.
পূর্বে মদনজয়ী শম্ভু হইতে তারক ব্রহ্ম রাম নাম তে। পূর্বে আমি রাম নাম পাইছি শিব হইতে, তোমার সঙ্গে লাভ হইল কৃষ্ণ নাম লইতে।
Formerly I received the holy name of Lord Ram from Lord Shiva, but now, due to your association, I am greatly eager to chant the holy name of Lord Krishna.
Hello.
Hari Bol!
So Lord Shiva always chants the name of Lord Ram.
Lord Shiva always chants the name of Lord Ram.
But by having the association of Haridāsa Ṭhākura,
So by having the association of Haridāsa Ṭhākura,
Māyā Devi wants to chant the name of Krishna.
Māyā Devi wants to chant the names of Krishna. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 3.257.
রাম নাম ও কৃষ্ণ নাম মাহাত্ম্য বৈশিষ্ট্য। মুক্তি হেতুক তারক হয় রাম নাম, কৃষ্ণ নাম পারক হইয়া করে প্রেম দান।
The holy name of Lord Ram certainly gives liberation, but the holy name of Krishna transports one to the other side of the ocean of nescience and at last gives one ecstatic love of Krishna. Purport. In an indirect way, this verse explains the chanting of the Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra. The Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra,
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, includes both the holy name of Lord Krishna and the name of Lord Ram. Lord Ram gives one the opportunity to be liberated, but simply by liberation one does not get actual spiritual benefit. Sometimes if one is liberated from material world but has no shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna, one falls down to the material world again. Liberation is like a state of convalescence in which one is free from a fever but still not healthy. Even in that stage of convalescence, if one is not very careful, one may have relapse. Similarly, liberation does not offer as much security as the shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. It is stated in the Shastra, E Anne Aravinda. O Lord, the intelligence of who think themselves liberated but who have no devotion is impure. Even though they rise to the highest point of liberation by dint of severe penances and austerities, they are sure to fall down again into the material existence, for they do not take shelter at your lotus feet. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.2.32 Yushmadangrayaha refers to the lotus feet of Krishna. If one does not take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, he falls down patantyada, even from liberation. The Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra, however, gives liberation and at the same time offers shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. If one takes shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna after liberation, he develops his dormant ecstatic love for Krishna. That is the highest perfection of life.
So, here the glories of the Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Rama mantra are described.
So here the glories of the Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Rama mantra is described.
By chanting Hare Rama, you get liberation.
By chanting Hare Rama, you get liberation.
By chanting Hare Kṛṣṇa, you get Krishna Prema.
And by chanting Hare Krishna, you get Krishna Prema. Knock, knock. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 3.258.
কৃষ্ণ নাম মহামন্ত্র দীক্ষা ও কৃষ্ণ প্রেম যাঞ্চা। কৃষ্ণ নাম দেহ তুমি মোরে কর ধন্য, আমারে বাসায় তৈছে ওই প্রেম বন্যা।
Please give me the holy name of Krishna and thus make me fortunate, so that I also may float in the flood of love of Godhead inaugurated by Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu.
In Mayapur, we have the Srimantini deity, which is Parvati touching the lotus feet of Lord Caitanya.
So in Mayapur we have the deities of Simantini, who is Parvati touching the lotus feet of Lord Caitanya.
Put it on her, the dust on her forehead.
And put the dust on her forehead.
Here, Māyā is bringing Haridāsa Ṭhākura to initiate her in chanting of the Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra.
Here Māyā is praying to Haridāsa Ṭhākura to initiate her into the chanting of the Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra.
This is showing the system. One should beg the spiritual master for the Hare Kṛṣṇa mantra.
So this showing the system, this is describing the system, one should beg the spiritual master for the Hare Krishna.
There are only 4 verses.
Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 2.259.
মায়াদেবীর ঠাকুরকে প্রণিপাত ও ঠাকুর কর্তৃক তাহাকে কৃষ্ণ নাম মহামন্ত্র দীক্ষা প্রদান। এত বলি বন্দিলা হরিদাসের চরণ, হরিদাস কহে কর কৃষ্ণ সংকীর্তন।
After this way, Māyā worshipped the lotus feet of Haridāsa Ṭhākura, who initiated her by saying, "Just perform chanting of the Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra," purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada. Now even Māyā wanted to be favored by Haridāsa Ṭhākura. Therefore, Haridāsa Ṭhākura formally initiated her by asking her to chant the Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra. Thus ends the chapter entitled Haridāsa Ṭhākura initiates Māyā into the chanting of the Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra, under the section The Glories of Srila Haridāsa Ṭhākura.
So, Māyā got the mercy of chanting Krishna's holy name.
So Mahamaya got the mercy of chanting Krishna's holy names.
We should also get that mercy
We should also get that mercy
and chant the holy name
and chant the holy name
and be free from the influence of Māyā.
and be freed from the influence of Maya. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Srila Haridāsa Ṭhākura ki, Shri Shri Radha Madhav Ashtasakhi Vrinda Śrīman Māyāpur Chandrodaya Mahaprabhu ki, Shri Shri Pancha Tattva ki, Shri Shri Prahlad Nrsimha Dev ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Patita Pavan Srila Guru Maharaj ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you for watching our videos. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.